Sharm El-Sheikh, on the southern tip of the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt. Residents here are used to hosting tourists, but in a few days' time, this city will welcome leaders from all over the world for the COP27 United Nations Climate Summit. Simon Steele is the new UN climate chief, and he knows he's facing problems on several fronts. We've got a war, an energy crisis, inflation, a number of countries burning or considering burning more coal to keep the lights on this winter. Is climate change slipping down the agenda?
If there is one defining crisis of our time, it is climate. All of the other things, interest rates, cost of living, even wars come to an end. But climate change just marches on. I don't think there's ever been a geopolitical environment as tense and as divisive as we have now as we enter this COP. Yes, the world is distracted. Sharm El-Sheikh gives us an opportunity to refocus.
It is a stark warning and a call to action. There are many fault lines to bridge here over the next few weeks. More than 40,000 people representing nearly 200 different countries are coming here to Sharm El-Sheikh. And while it might be under the UN banner, they all have competing priorities and motivations. And a lot of it boils down to just one issue: money. And as they make final preparations at the summit venue, it's become particularly about the gap between rich nations who caused the climate crisis and poor ones who are the most vulnerable to it. Outside the conference centre, protesters gathered to speak up on just that. Closely policed, but determined to be heard.
We are talking about the climate changes that drains the environment in Africa mostly, where the animals are dying. So it's devastating and we need to speak up about it.
Climate change will affect our food, our water, our life, our climate. It's so dangerous and so matter for everyone and everything in this planet.
As world leaders prepare to travel to COP27, there is much to do and much to overcome. At this African COP, expect that issue of injustice and inequity to be at the very centre of things. Developing nations want to be compensated, frankly, for the loss and damage inflicted upon them as a result of the climate crisis, a crisis that they did very little to cause. And while all of that is going on and there is a rumbling row about getting loss and damage on the agenda formally for discussion at COP27, there must be increased efforts to bring down carbon emissions. Not promises, but actions, delivery mechanisms, because the United Nations is warning that the world is way off course on that front. In fact, it's on track for catastrophic warming, it says, if more isn't done.